Hi friends, Alyssa Prettyman here again from Breathe Together Yoga. Today we're going to work on our side seam or do a little bit of a lat roll down. Now your lats tend to be recognized as big back muscles. You know, sometimes you see bodybuilders and there's this big, almost like a bat wing that goes from here across to the back of the arm and they get all bulgy. That is a big muscle or a big set of muscles, right? Because you got one on the left and one on the right. But what we don't always realize about the lats is that the lats like come up the back, but then they come through the front and they attach on the front side of the arm bone. So they can be part of the mechanism that drags the chest forward and down if the lats are really tight. So we're going to reset this zone that the lats live in, and we're going to touch on some other stuff as well. What we're going to do to start is take one arm over our head. Here's my armpit. Congratulations. Welcome to my armpit. We're not going to shove a ball deep into the middle of the armpit, but we all know where it is, so we can start. Okay, there's the middle of the armpit. And then we're going to take the ball out onto the side seam. So this would have been my armpit. Now I'm going out to where the side seam of my shirt might be. I'm going to lean on it. You might start to feel that pretty intensely already. Now, I would normally use a slightly larger ball here, like the Alpha ball. We sell those here at Breathe. You could also use the big squishy Gorgeous ball if getting your arm into this position is tough. If you can't bring the arm overhead, maybe you can bring the hand across the front of the chest. The goal is that we kind of get this arm out of the way and that it's relatively comfortable for the shoulder. Now, all I'm going to do is pretend that I'm a door on a hinge. So I'm going to lean my chest forward, I'm going to lean my back back, and I'm going to swing on that hinge. I imagine like the saloon doors in a Western movie, you know, when they push open and they go like that on the hinge. I'm one of those doors right now. So pushing and pulling front to back. I might be able to get a little bit of up and down, but it can be kind of tough with that elbow there because you hit the wall, but you may be able to do a little bit of side bending here as well. Ooh, yeah. And then move the ball down a little bit and do the same thing. You can bring your arm into any position here. But what I'll notice is I'm on some kind of puffy muscles on the side of my rib cage, and then I'm dragging back, and I may feel the edge of my shoulder blade when we're rubbing on some serratus muscles. Nice little fluffy fan muscles that run along the side of the rib cage. I don't know why I say they're fluffy. They feel fluffy when I go over them here. Come down a little bit more, maybe an inch or two, and push-pull front to back. Might feel a little bit more ribby, very technical term, as you head south, right? Go down a little bit more. It's okay if you pull onto the back body. Think of like combing the side of you onto the back of you. Come down a little bit more. Now very ribby, probably, right? It's kind of bony here. You may not need to press so hard, but I'm pulling from the side of me onto the back of me. Combing the front line open, perhaps. Can you come any lower and still stay in rib territory? From ribs, ooh, side ribs to back ribs. And you're still kind of like the door on the hinge, just swinging and swinging. You might go a little bit lower and come onto the side of your waist, the side of the obliques. Now, this is where a slightly larger ball can be helpful because sometimes I lose the ball in the me because I'm a fleshier gal. So sometimes a bigger ball you can just feel more, of some deep pressure into the oblique tissue, which can feel fantastic as well. And then I'm pulling the ball onto the back of my body. Okay, this is good. Let's do the other side. Let's do a little side seam roll down, kind of targeting the lats here. Put the other arm overhead. Put the ball in your armpit. You can put it wherever you want because it's your ball. Take the ball out to the side seam of you. Okay, there it is, not in the armpit. We've moved it out to the side. Now we apply pressure. Boom. I might walk that outside foot away from the wall a little bit so I can get some pressure. And then I can start to just swing the body, pushing and pulling. From the side seam, maybe onto the back of the shoulder blade a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to press firmly, just slow down a little bit. Make sure that your breath is coming along for the ride. And you're not pushing so hard that you're holding or clenching or tensing up. Kind of goes against what we're trying to accomplish here. All right, let's start to take that ball on a little journey down the side seam of the body. Once we head a little bit south of armpit alley, we feel those serratus muscles, kind of bumpy little muscles on the side of the rib cage there. Maybe we move down another tick. Again, positioning that arm anywhere that gets it out of the way, anywhere that makes it easy for you to pull on this path, and comb the side of the body towards the back of the body. Good. Come down a little bit more. And perhaps here, again, noticing it's very ribby. Very ribby. But I'm moving side ribs to the back of the body. And as you head in towards the spinal column, you'll notice it feels a little fleshier. You kind of tack up against some muscles that get really excited for a little bit of massage love. Let's come a little bit lower. Maybe, oh, I dropped it. Maybe you're close to the side of your waist, right? Maybe you have a little bit more rib territory that you can work on. It just depends on how far down you move the ball. We're doing about 5 to 7 sections today, but you could do 20 if you wanted to move it just a tiny bit. And notice those nuances of sensation that differ zone by zone. Maybe you can come down a little bit lower and target the side of the waist and pull from the side of the waist onto the back of the body. It's quite delicious. Big breath in and a big exhale. I'm kind of hunching forward because I want to drive the other side of my body into the ball. Okay. Now, one thing we can do with the ball, because we kind of comb the side seam onto the back, the location of the lats, is we can take the ball around the top of the arm bone and just kind of roll lightly around the top of the arm bone. So we stay kind of nice and high there. And again, it's just door on a hinge, right? And the path of the ball is right, almost like a little cuff around the top of the arm bone here. And I could scrub it a little bit too if I wanted. Front to back, back to front, and maybe a little up and down. Maybe I can kind of start to snuggle it up in here a little bit. So just seeking some attachment points for some of the rotator cuff muscles. Attachment point for the lats, that front of the arm bone there. You're getting to know your paint color very well on the wall. Go to the other side, top of the arm bone. Take a little journey here. And you can go up and down a little bit here too. If we want to target the lats, maybe we come, kind of like swinging the arm out a little bit. We come around the front of the arm bone here. Just feel that you are on the arm bone and not coming up into pec and chest territory. Arm bone. Arm bone. Okay, when you feel done with that, that's where we'll leave it for today. Side seam and a little bit of targeting of the lats, those big back muscles that can attach to the arm bone and pull the chest in. So if you're feeling hunchy forwardy, give that a try. And if nothing else, in your yoga practice, you may feel that you have a little bit more range in your twists and in your back bends. My name is Alyssa Prettyman, and hopefully we will rock and roll together again real soon. See ya.